If Europe is going to address the big societal challenges that not just Europe faces, that the world face, then we have to look at the tools that we've got to do that. Now, what the European Commission has developed at the moment is responsible research and innovation, and within that there are 6 pillars. What I want to talk about is how SiS Catalyst, the Mobilising Mutual Learning Action Plan, has an alignment with the 6 pillars of RRI. The first pillar is public engagement, and what we are saying within SiS Catalyst is children are a public. They are a third of the world's population and they're societal actors. It's actually their future that we're talking about and their future that we're creating today. But as a public, as societal actors, they are not included in the development of policy and practice. And that's very much the key message of SiS Catalyst. The second pillar of responsible research and innovation is gender. Now, we broaden this from just women in science, and what we talk about is something called locally defined minorities. And a locally defined minority is a minority in that context that is in the minority. So, for example, female scientists, and particularly senior female academics and managers, are in the minority. They're a locally defined minority. Equally, if you go to a lot of places and countries, you can see that children of immigrants are in the minority when it comes to progression to university. And across Europe, the biggest minority in terms of progression to university is our Roma communities. So, yes, gender is important, but we define it slightly broader. The third pillar is science education. And within SiS Catalyst, we define science very broadly because the global issues, the societal challenges, I'm afraid, are not going to be solved just by physicists, just by chemists. They're going to be solved by a whole lot of people working together, from universities, from scientists, from academics, but critically from the public. And that will include economists, psychologists, but also artists and people who are able to work and to engage and to listen to the public. Within universities, we have ended up with very linear lines of learning. We have got physics, and then within that, tiny little elements of physics, linear lines of learning. And we're sending those messages back into our school systems right now, sometimes even as far as kindergarten, that these linear lines of learning, these linear progressions of academic subjects. Now, what we can learn from children is they don't think in those linear lines. We teach them that. What children think about is big interdisciplinary problems. They think, why are there clouds? Why are there countries? Why is the sky blue? And what we do is we go through a school system which will get people to think in these linear lines of learning. When they get postgraduate, they get postdoc, we then encourage them to work interdisciplinary. Now, if we started working with children, we could actually do that process without having to go through the relearning that we actually ask in terms of innovation. Ethics is a very crucial pillar within responsible research and innovation. And one of the things that I think the work of SiS Catalyst can do is actually to inform the discussion around ethics. Because what we've learned is we cannot engage with children unless we empower them. And if you take that message and say, okay, this isn't just a one-way process, we have to find a way of ethically engaging with children, which enables them to be part of a dialogue. And if we do that, then if we start talking about other publics, then we can't just have a one-way engagement with them either. So the ethical message of SiS Catalyst is we have to be empowering any public that we engage with. So public engagement is an empowering process, or should be. The open access pillar is, I have to say, UK expression, a bit of a no-brainer, particularly as the technology is growing exponentially. We have this amazing ability to connect, to be informed, to have knowledge, and it is already open. So the open access is a no-brainer. Then the final pillar is governance, and within SiS Catalyst we use the expression key players, and again key players are locally defined within this university, within this state, within this region. A key player is somebody who has influence, and what we're asking in terms of governance is that key players are recognised as societal actors, and also that this is incorporated, this thinking is incorporated into both the policy and practice. And where we are now is we are facing a world that is unsustainable. Our children are not going to have a future unless we address what we're doing with their legacy now. And that's the future, our future that we are creating. And we have to find a way now of creating their future with them. And I want to finish with the words of children, and this is a manifesto. We all can change the world. It came from a group of 40 children aged between 8 and 12 in Medellin, Colombia, and they wrote it as a consequence of their children's university activities over a 3-day consultation process. And so this is a message. And the message has got two things. First of all, the manifesto is called "We All Can Change the World." And this is what the children say. We, the children, need the support of our parents and other adults to pursue these ideas. It's important for you to listen to our voices, because we do think of what happens in our society. Also, we are the ones that will live our future. That's why we don't want adults to take decisions without taking us into account. So, responsible research and innovation and the words of children. If 40 children in Medellin believe that we can all change the world, then we have to believe that too, and we can all change the world.